Hello and welcome into this edition of the Wildcat Weekly Coaches Report here with head swimming coach Kyle Kimball. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, it's fun.
So looking at the season right now, coming off of last year where both the men's and the women's did really well last season, with both teams finishing right there in second place behind Whitworth in the conference. How do you expect the group to kind of get better this season and improve after pretty good performances last year?
We were like 25 points behind Whitman last year. Lost a lot of, on the women's side, we lost 4 of our top swimmers from last year. So, but like we were just talking about earlier, we've got 8 new swimmers coming in on the women's side. So some very high level swimmers. So we're hoping to keep that push going. Our mantra has been, we're on the rise, and that started 5 years ago when I took over the program. We were towards the bottom of the program or the conference, and now we're up definitely towards the top and knocking on the door to conference titles. So hopefully with those new 8 swimmers on the women's side, we can kind of keep the ball rolling. It's going to be tough to make up for what we lost last year. We lost some really good seniors, and then one of the girls transferred out that was our national qualifier actually. So we're gonna keep going though. We're gonna keep trying. And then on the men's side, we've got another 9 guys coming in to replace just a few of our seniors that left last year. So we're looking real solid on the guys. We also have Newton coming back this year. He was in Brazil last year, and so he's coming back this year for his senior year. So we're looking real strong on the guys' side, and hopefully, again, try to pick up where we left off, getting second in the conference last year, and we'll hope to give Whitworth a run this year for the conference title.
So when you look at the preseason poll that just came out this week, I should say, you look on the men's side, projected finish in second place, right behind Whitworth. The women projected finish in 4th. When you see these results, what do you think about it when it comes to your team? Does it give you any motivation when you see you're projected to not win the conference this year on either side? And what are your overall thoughts?
It's been since 1999 since we've had a conference title here in swimming. So, I don't take that as a knock or anything that we're not picked to do it again this year. But I think on our guys, the men's side, I think some of them are taking that and going to put a chip on their shoulder a little bit because of the rankings that came out. But, I think it's fair to have us in second on the men's side just because of where we were last year. And, the poll is based on what coaches and the other coaches think that is going to happen. And they don't maybe know of all of our guys coming in, and they probably have a solid guess. But, I think it's a fair ranking, but I think it does give us a chip on our shoulders that, hey, we're not picked, but we're there, and we are smelling a conference title this year. So on the women's side, I think it's probably a fair place to start for us as far as, kind of rebuilding off of last year's near miss. 4th place is, still the upper echelon of the conference, and I think, again, maybe gives us something to shoot for with all the new freshmen coming in and those returners that almost tasted that victory. So I think fair to start, but we've got work to do.
So when you're looking now a little bit deeper into the women's side, you'll have 2 notable returners right off the top with Molly Hartzell and Emily Samudio coming off first team All Northwest Conference selections last season. You talked about it, a lot of new faces coming in as well. When you look at that team, what are your kind of points of emphasis when you're thinking about the women's side of it, and how helpful is it to have Emily and Molly there to kind of help you out?
I think Emily and Molly, definitely 2 leaders of our program, and like I said, they were kind of around the mix last year and helping us get to where we got. And so I think with all these new swimmers coming in, they're going to definitely have that experience and be able to be leaders when it's crunch time. I think it's easy to thrash around in the water during practice and get up on the blocks and race, but I think their leadership will come through when we're getting to the conference championships and the stress and the heat of the battle is there. So it's great to have them. It's great to have all the new swimmers, and they're not the only leaders. I think that, we've got our captains, Haley and Lauren. We've also got some other people that have been there, and I think I try to project to the team that every single person on our team should be a leader and to bring something to the table. So obviously nice to have Emily and Molly.
And now looking over to the men's side, I mean, you mentioned a couple people that are already there, but most notable is Noah Cutting, a very talented swimmer in his own right. He comes back with a couple of very good senior members as well. So when you look at having him and that group there, I mean, definitely want to make a run against Whitworth and see what can happen with a conference championship, especially when you were so close last year.
Right. Yeah. Noah's been great. I told him the other day that it's going to be a weird year next year to not have him around, but he's looking at becoming one of the only, I don't know my history on the team maybe as well as I should, but he's looking at becoming a 4-time national qualifier. So from freshman all the way to senior year. So he's looking to have a great year. He's also one of our team captains. He's a leader in and out of the pool, so it's great to have him. And then you put in Joseph Smith. Sorry, not Smith. That's the football coach. Joseph Simpson, close, as our other captain. And he is, not only leading academically, but also in the pool and helping the kids with some tutoring and stuff like that. So we've got 2 great captains, and then all the leaders that we have in the pool. Like I said, with the women's side, we try to get everybody to be a leader. I think that Whitworth's not the only school out there. I think there's other schools out there that have great swimmers and are looking to do the same. I think Whitworth I think they've won like 15 out of 17 titles for the Northwest Conference. So they're definitely the team to beat, and I think everybody knows that. And hopefully we can get there.
You look too at both teams, a lot of really smart kids, very strong on the academic side of things as well as in the pool, like you said. Now, finally, just to wrap things up, the season really starts here this weekend, going up against Puget Sound. They'll be coming here to McMinnville. Projected finish middle of the pack, but you think that they're going to be a really tough team coming in here to Mac?
I think that UPS is maybe the silent sleeper of the conference right now based on the rankings that came out. I think, they've definitely got some good freshmen that are in the mix. They went to a sprint pentathlon meet last weekend over at Whitworth, and they were definitely showing some strength, I think. So the guys, I think they've done a good job of recruiting some in, and I look to see them probably make a move in the conference on the men's side. And then the women's side, they have 2 of the best swimmers in the conference. One is Kelly Callahan, and she's a very impressive conference swimmer of the year the last couple of years, national qualifier the last couple of years. So with her and Calista Skog, I think that those 2 are definite solid leaders for UPS, and I definitely see them being a little bit more than middle of the pack for this year. But we're going to come in. It's our house, and we're going to give them definitely a solid meet, and it's going to be a fun meet, and it's going to be fun to get some rust off and get into the season and start racing, because I think that's what we need right now. That's what's missing in our season right now, is just we haven't raced yet. So we've been in the water since middle of September, so it's a month and a half of just training only, and so it's time to race.
Well, very exciting again. Puget Sound will be visiting McMinnville here, taking on the Linfield Wildcats. That'll be at 1 o'clock on Saturday. But, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much. Take care.